I keep thinking you'll come on back to me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the January Dysfunctional podcast. I am your host, Ken, and I'm here together with Nigo and Mariba. How you guys doing?
I'm alright.
Sorry, good to be back, man. I missed you guys.
Good, good. You'll notice we're missing one Whatless, but he will be back soon. Don't worry about that. Let's go into topic number one. We're gonna go with some big news that come out. I'm sure you've all heard it right now. Liam Neeson did an interview before he was on his press run for a movie called Revenge. Sounds a lot like some of the other movies he's been doing, Taken and the like. He did one in a train where he's getting revenge. He did one in a plane where he's getting revenge. So I'm expecting the same formula of that one. But nevertheless, he did an interview on his press run, and he was asked by the interviewer how he manages to channel that emotion or that level of aggression, and he brought up a story about how he back 30 years ago, 40 years ago, back in Northern Ireland, he was told by a friend of his that she was raped, and he asked for a description of the person. She said it was a black man. So he went around for a week and a half with a kosh. For those of you who aren't British, a kosh is basically a police baton or similar kind of weapon. 10 days looking for what he described as a black bastard, hunting him down before he got his senses back and decided not to go through with it. There is a link below the video or on the podcast site if you want to have a look at the interview, because it's a lot about the way he says it as well as what he says. So that's a lot to take in. I've gone on for 5 minutes describing the whole situation. What do you guys think about it?
Yo, Liam Neeson could suck my dick. I don't want to see another Taken movie. I mean, you've seen them all.
Well, we
already,
didn't want to see another Taken movie anyway. We've seen about 5.
right? And who's gonna get taken next? His front teeth? Hey, come on.
Lord, that's why it's called Revenge this time. It's a whole different ordeal.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what he was trying to do with the whole revenge story and telling us something from his past or whatever, because the interviewer did ask a fantastic question. But,
Yeah.
man, you should have left that, because niggas was probably the people watching Taken a lot. I'm sure it was like a whole bunch of black people watching Taken, and now ain't nobody wanna see no revenge, nothing.
I thought they were considering pulling it. I'm not sure if they pulled it. I think they was considering pulling it. I'm
So
not sure if they pulled it.
what happened is there was a red carpet due. They stopped that, but it did still screen on that day. They just stopped the whole red carpet thing. You know, when the celebrity show
Yeah.
up. And
They probably didn't want any
That's it.
protesters or something.
yeah, definitely for sure. They probably didn't want anything happening at that time.
But yeah, the guy, Liam Neeson, he should have really kept that to the past. And the thing is, this guy, what's his name? The big buff dude from White Chicks.
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews tried to shoot him bail and was like, oh, I can see it as a fork in the road and I don't think he's a racist and whatever. Which is fine and well.
It wasn't just him.
Oh,
There was former soccer star John Barnes used to manage the Jamaican soccer team. He also defended him. His defense, I definitely don't agree with. He came from the angle that he should get a medal for admitting to this and seeking some sort of remorse. I definitely don't agree with the medal part, because his angle is that if he hadn't have said this, no one would have ever thought about it. No one would have ever said it, and if someone had figured it out rather than him saying it, then it would have looked like he was hiding it. So it would have been better for him to come out with it first. So that was his angle, and he caught a lot of flack for that. I mean, justifiably so for the medal part for sure. Terry Crews was coming at it from Terry Crews how was he coming at it? It was like
he was saying, well, I can see where he's coming from, and I don't believe he's a racist. He's a nice guy, because at that point it was a fork in the road. I mean, sure, all is well, because he decided to not go through it eventually, but it was like a whole 10 days. So what if he had caught someone who just happened to be black, you know.
Yeah.
And then what? We would have never heard of Liam Neeson.
Pretty much.
Sure.
Okay.
Just true.
And then
I
we'd have
mean,
another black person
we
there.
might still have heard of Liam Neeson. There just might be one less body in this world. Who knows?
Right.
And he just say he was looking for a black man. We have to understand this is 40 years ago in Northern Ireland. It was a very different time back then. I mean, if you think black is a minority now, black is was a very very small minority back then. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So going 10 days without seeing a black man, I can believe it for sure.
But still, Jesus
Nevertheless,
Christ.
yeah.
For it to be just any black bastard to knock his skull in, like, fuck Liam Neeson, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it was like a couple of years ago, fine, but it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while to get people, back to normal with Liam Neeson. At least, as far as we know, currently he doesn't hold these opinions on black people. Hopefully. But it's only left to be seen because at this point now he has a microscope on him. So at this current moment, fuck Liam Neeson. I don't want to see no revenge movie. Fuck that. All his movies are the same anyway.
Let's dig a bit deeper into it. Do you think he can? Well, this is a 40 years from his moment. So let's talk about something that might have happened. Let's say someone did something maybe a year ago, and then he was trying to show remorse, and he's trying to say that he's changed and show that he's changed, and he's done things for the black community in order to not, well, there's no proof in terms of what is in your mind. No one can read someone's mind, but in order to show that he may have changed, do you think you could forgive someone after something like that, or like not maybe even forgive them, accept their existence after something like that?
Yeah. I mean, as a form of reparations, right? The person, they did the culture right in a sense. If they tried, everything in their power to be a better person, to support black people and black businesses, if they have done anything within their power to apologize and show remorse for what they have done, absolutely no problem, because this is really all people ask for.
Is it all people ask for, or are they also asking for?
No, because as soon as someone says sorry, the world goes back to, okay, yeah, we'll on to the next thing. And even sometimes if they don't say sorry, the world forgets about it in arguably more time, but we forget about it, unfortunately. Because what happens with R. Kelly, we don't hear anything about R. Kelly right now. It's going on, stuff is going on with R. Kelly, but there is very little news coverage about it. So if you pay your dues and you apologize, if there's actionable evidence, that's what I was looking for. If there's actionable evidence of you being sorry and doing things that paint you in a better light with regards to the black community, honestly, then yeah, sure, no problem. I see no reason to not forgive or not.
My views are more like, I would agree with Nigo, but I would think seriously if it was in a different light. Let's say he did went through with it. They never got caught or anything. This came to light or whatever, and there was an action. Let's say he fought somebody or whatever. He didn't kill somebody, but he beat somebody or whatever. There'll be no forgiveness. No matter if he changed or not, the action was done. I think in those lights, he would not be forgiven.
Because then at that point, he hasn't been punished for his crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was assuming that there was no physical harm done. Yeah, so I was thinking about Liam Neeson's situation.
Because at this point in time, we can only even with the fact that he had the intent, we can only get at him for his thoughts, because those are the only things that he can.
Yeah.
That he's had his thoughts. He could walk around saying he wanted to hit someone, but who knows what would have happened when he met up with the person? Who knows?
Agreed. I would say this.
He probably got his ass washed with all his fucking special skills and whatnot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like he wasn't guaranteed to, younger as he may have been, he wasn't guaranteed to get away with what he was thinking to get away with.
True. What I would say, I could sympathize with his rage because I can understand something happened to someone close to him.
Definitely.
I cannot sympathize with his irrationality of the decision he made after that. That's where I can't sympathize with.
The wording you have is a bit. I can't go 100% with the wording you have, because when you have that level of anger, like if there was to happen to your family or something like that, you get irrational, and people can forgive you a little bit for being irrational.
Exactly.
The bit I don't
Mhm.
forgive is the fact that he picked a whole demographic versus.
That's what I said. That is what I said. When I said I can't forgive his irrationality.
Yeah,
It's-
that's
it's
what I'm
that
saying.
funny.
It's
My-
so,
I
it would have been irrational for him to kill someone. Let me
No,
just.
I won't think so. I disagree there. Because I'm saying if he could guarantee kill the exact person who caused the crime, I wouldn't think it was irrational. I would think that was a bit too much. I can understand how you get this. I don't think it's irrational.
Yeah.
But it's not right. But saying not a whole demographic is irrational because a baby who just born is still black. You're gonna bash that baby head in.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by the differences when I say like, yeah. So if you want to hit one individual, the direct involved individual, I won't see it as irrational. I see that it's the most natural reaction. Someone hurts you, you want to hurt them back.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to hurt a whole like you said, demographic of people you haven't even met yet. What if it was a tourist flew from Africa? This is good here, and he just walking down the street.
It could have been anyone. It could have been anyone. It
Yeah.
really could have been.
So she walking up and down a bar street or something. Everyone's got some whiskey in them, man. You know the Irish. You know the Irish. They go hard, man. They go hard.
Yeah.
They go hard.
It was literally just walking down the street. He wasn't going to a particular neighborhood. He didn't have any leads. He just said anyone.
Yeah. So
That's-
see, and with
He said like the most black thing and the most white person wherever. He's like, I was hoping someone did something. You know, black people say, oh man, I wish a nigga would. I wish a nigga would.
But yeah, altogether, but can he be forgiven? Because he can be forgiven because nothing has been done. I will agree with that. Nothing has been done in the aspect of it. No one has been physically harmed.
Yeah,
in
there
his
was no
malice
physical
thoughts.
harm. So.
Yeah.
So yes. So yeah.
Yeah, but and in the end of the day, what does forgiveness mean for me? I'm not really out here looking for Liam Neeson movies in the first place. Like, for the majority of the time, I've seen him in Star Wars and Taken and some other random films, and that's about it. I'm not really looking out for Liam Neeson in the first place, so it doesn't matter to me that whether or not he gets forgiven to the point where he was back before. It's like that doesn't really affect me. It's a whatever for me. If he gets forgiven, yeah, fine, whatever. But it wouldn't really like if the rest of the black community just said fuck him, and then he was denied all of the other opportunities, I wouldn't really pay no mind.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was in Star Wars until you said that just now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the early ones. But
The original ones, yeah.
Okay, what the old school ones?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, vibes.
He was the one who caught up Anakin, I think.
Yeah.
Vibes. I don't know.
Anyways, moving on. You ain't supported this anymore for a while, so let's move on.
For real. Alright. So for one man trying to attack a black man to black on black fights, let's go to Chris Brown be Offset in a fight of the century. So this all started off actually, yeah, let's do it this way around actually. Let's go to 21 Savage direct. 21 Savage faces Deportation.
Yeah.
Why you niggas got trapped so hard?
Simple as that. He faces Deportation, ICE, which is or IC, however you want to say it, which is a faction of the government which tracks illegal immigrants that come over, either they made their way into the country illegally, or they overstayed their visa, or anything like that that says you're not allowed to be in this country. And for somehow, some way, they picked 21 Savage for the next victim. We've seen 21 Savage go from, let's say, an undesirable character. Then he got with Amber Rose, and now he's feeding tigers with a baby bottle and talking about niggas need to stop wasting all their money and spending their money in the right place and building for the future and all that shit. He becoming a positive influence on the black community. And now they're trying to take him down. Do you think this is a coincidence? And what do you think of the whole Deportation thing in general? I'll be honest, when I found out that he was originally from Brixton, like a few miles away from where I was laughing. All the memes that started coming out about how when he was talking about he got niggas in red, and then they bring out the red coat. Trust me, I was laughing.
So Savage the 21st.
Yes.
But yo, real talk. To start off, ICE, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to look for the illegal immigrants or whatnot. But I honestly don't think that's what they do. I think they just drive around, on the border or even in American neighborhoods, just looking for people who don't look American. That's what I think they do. I think they pick on them until they find someone. It's kind of like even a broken clock is correct twice a day.
It's the same as the TSA looking for any Arab dude with a beard.
Exactly. I think it's all profiling. I think it's all stupid. I think it is a massive waste of time as far as taxpayers' dollars are concerned. But I had the opportunity to get rid of 21 Savage many years ago when he was out of school. Right? He dropped out of high school. He allegedly shot someone. He was allegedly in possession of guns before, allegedly in possession of marijuana before, right? So out of all these things, why is it now that when Homeboy is actually being a positive influence, his music has improved to the point where I could listen to his music, because I love his last album. This isn't about music. Now that he's been a positive influence in the black community and in the community at large, why is it now they choose to persecute him? Why is it now they try to, get rid of him? I think it's absolutely stupid because they found him with they allegedly found him with a loaded gun when they stopped him. Bullshit. Someone with that much money.
So much questions.
Not carrying their own gun.
I have so much questions because you're gonna be like, when he's signing all his record deals and stuff and all this, nobody asking these questions. All this stuff he's done. Nobody.
He was 13 when his visa expired, and at that point he's not his own legal guardian. It was whoever brought him to the United States, so that was their responsibility. He says he did, like, not him, but his attorney saying he was unaware of that fact. So which makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. You expect your parents to take care of everything when you're at that age. You're not thinking about visa papers and stuff like that.
Exactly. But I think it was Maul or Rory who said there was no friend has ever come out and say, hey, I went to elementary school with this guy and he had a weird accent, or he was there one day and then the other day he was no longer there, or he wasn't there one day and the next day he was, and he just came over from a different country or whatever. Like, there's no one coming out and saying, well, I know him from since he was a kid.
Yeah, for real, no one's come out. Like, I mean, if Nigga, if you turn up to America and then you started becoming 24 Savage all of a sudden, come out with an Atlanta accent, I'd be like, I'll bring out this podcast as evidence straight up.
What? You have to let me get my money. Come on, no the fuck us.
I'd let you get your money first a bit, and then as soon as it looks like you're about to hit gold,
yo,
swing it out like that, straight up. Man. TMZ can have all the information.
Niggas will always try to pull you down. God damn.
Because there has to have been one guy who would remember this dude, surely.
And he's like, message me on the low, hit me as DM, something, nigga.
Nah, it's cool.
Straight to TMZ. God damn.
We need that money. We need a bag.
TMZ got the real bag. Let's be real. TMZ got the real bag.
Yo, I would be the goose that is laying the golden egg. What is with your niggas' morals? God damn it.
I'm about to get paid, innit? You're going to go
I'm about to get paid. You can go back to Trinidad, man. It's all good.
Real friends. How many of us?
At least we're honestly telling you this to your face. Other niggas won't just gas you up.
Right,
We're just sending you back home. Just same with 21. And people getting mad. I have to say this first. For people getting mad at the deportation itself, he's going back to England. He's not going back to a war-torn country. He's not there. He's not escaping death. It's not like that journalist that was caught in Canada and had to go all the way to Canada to go safe, or the footballer that was being pulled back to Bahrain, and was gonna get killed or back on arrival. He's going back to England. The grime artists are probably gonna welcome him with open arms.
Stormzy's waiting with bated breath.
Exactly. That he can still make his music. It's gonna be annoying that he has to leave his house, and I'm thinking, with all the money he has in the first place and the fact that it was expired when he was a kid, means that he's gonna be able to get his his full nationality, naturalization anyway. I don't think he's in any danger of being deported. I mean, if Kat Stacks, I don't know if you remember Kat Stacks, but she was basically the first Instagram label hoe who was fucking around all of Cash Money and Young Money before she tried to blackmail all of them, and then they reported her to ICE, and then she was getting threatened of being deported, and she was in she was in holding for 2 whole years before they let her go. So if she can get away with it, 21 Savage can get away with it. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it is very uplifting to see Jay-Z offer his support. You know, Jay-Z has gotten. Is it Jay-Z or Rock Nation?
It's Jay-Z. Because I saw it on Jay-Z's Facebook page. Jay-Z is like hired the same lawyer for another big case. I'm trying to remember which one exactly it was, but he hired the same lawyer for one of the other big cases on a black matter, and to help him. The one thing I have to say, I'm
It's
a
good
bit
to see
annoyed
the
at.
solidarity within the hip hop community for sure.
That's great. All of the black artists support each other. That's great. All of the when Black Lives Matter started getting involved, that's where I'm a bit like, there are other people who are facing the deportation right now.
Yeah, it has to be someone more important for the
There are Africans that are escaping Congo and Sierra Leone and all of these places, Somalia, that are war-torn places that are in danger of dying. And you're not and you're only focusing on him now. Like, what about all of these other people? That's the only part. Jay-Z's fine. He like they're brethren. They're within the same cliques. Help your friend. Black Lives Matter, or just black people, the black community in general, there are definitely more deserving cases, because he will not get away with it, but he will get out of it with the money and resources he has. There's other people who don't have that. That's the only gripe I have with people's level of support.
And people are now saying, "Oh, get rid of ICE, get rid of ICE." Like, this is why you want to get rid of ICE? Come on.
Like, it's been going on for ages, and you can't be paying attention to stuff now that it's affecting people who, let's be honest, are in a higher tax bracket than all of us.
Oh yeah.
What I would say is that I just find it very, like, we all said all this, and I'm happy that Jay-Z did his part and whatever, but there is a huge coincidence as soon as the nigga switch up and really try and influence community. Same thing with it XXXTentacion. As soon as he switch up his word, he got shut up. I forget his name. Yeah, I don't care. Nigga did that. Nigga being dead, yo. Okay. Whatever his name was, but
the Temptation.
He got licked up. He got licked up. Suicide being a bit positive, that's smart up. It's just a coincidence. A lot of coincidences.
That wasn't a coincidence. He was legit robbed. He was legit robbed. Like, that was
he got robbed.
Yeah, you can't escape your past like that, man. Come on, man.
He was in Florida driving around in a fancy ass Benz. Just went and spent a whole bunch of money. Like, come on. He wasn't smart about it. He figured, well, I'm in Florida, therefore I'm safe. No one's gonna touch me or whatever. Stupid.
Exactly. And let's be real, Tekashi 6ix9ine, he hasn't redeemed himself on any level. And if it wasn't for the FBI, he'd be dead by now. So.
Oh yeah.
Highly likely.
I think it's just a coincidence on that part. I think it's more coincidence than a thing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I hope you want to get away.
6ix9ine's life. 6ix9ine's facing 6-9 years.
For real.
How many years?
Snitch 9.
The FBI was like, stupid. Not gonna give you a chance.
Can you believe all he has left in his account is $1 million? That's all he has left. Yeah. He is so he's done.
That is very believable. Very, very.
I hope he uses all of that to get rid of his tattoos, and maybe goes and gets a nice job as a real estate agent or something.
He can get it out.
The thing is, it is believable because that is the music business for you. Young artists get fucked. Young artists absolutely get fucked with their money. His team was taking huge chunks out of his check.
But that's on him. Why is he rolling with such a huge team? Like, if he didn't go in with Treyway, because Treyway was gonna peel for all the money that they could from him, like, and with all the shit that he was getting into, he's gonna need all of them bodyguards, all of the protection and shit. That costs money.
Yeah, that costs money. But what was happening is he signed a show deal for 100 something thousand, when in actuality the actual bill that was paid to him, or rather his unit in a sense,
Yeah.
was over 10 mil for a show. Over 10 mil for a show, and you see only 100 something.
That's madness.
Look,
Yeah.
It's the company you keep.
His-
It's the company you keep. I mean, Cardi B
team-
came up on the same rise. She ain't suffering from the same shit because she knows, like she was tricking for money professionally. She knows how to manage her
Yeah,
shit.
she know the game. She knows the game.
Yeah.
But 6ix9ine, unfortunately, he got fucked by the system and his people around him. Not,
Yeah.
I mean, technically, yeah, the system, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
You get what you give in.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I mean,
let's back
told
to it.
him. People told him what was gonna happen, and he didn't take their money.
Yeah. So him now.
So we go through that 21 Savage ruckus just to bring you to the real ruckus between Chris Brown and Offset.
If you
It was
want
all
beef,
just
then
a-
bring the ruckus.
It was all just give the backstory. We just needed a bit of backstory because Chris Brown started posting memes of this whole 21 Savage situation. Funny ass memes. I don't give a fuck. Them shits were funny.
I haven't seen any of the memes yet. But you know what? Apparently, just gonna say. Wait.
Right.
But I'm saying though, apparently some white chick, I think is it Demi Leov or whatever her name is.
Demi Lovato.
She got
Yeah.
roasted for making jokes about this.
You know, I feel sorry for her
I
on the
don't.
next level.
I
I feel sorry
don't.
for her. I gotta feel sorry for the little thick white girl, man. Come
No.
on. Man.
She got hardcore bullied.
Yo,
Man,
people was
they-
like,
they-
hey,
people
you
need to-
smoke crack.
You know what I mean? It's like if you say a not joke and then they just tell you about how your dad left you and you're
Like what?
that's how
You know what? You know what? In this situation, Demi Lovato was the man and the internet was the woman. Because you will tell your girl something, oh, your breath stink or whatever, and she will say, yeah, well, your mother pussy stink. That's why you have such a bad body odor. Women just take it a whole other level.
they just went too deep on Demi, man.
Nah, you know what? What she was
'cause
supposed to do?
Everyone
What
in
she
her
was
mentions.
supposed- Go on.
I'm saying everyone in her mentions laughed at the same jokes. I don't care what they say. Everyone in her mentions laughed at the same. Anyone trying to say, "Oh, deportation isn't funny," like it's funny because we just realized that a man pretending he's from Atlanta when he's really from Southeast London. That's what's funny.
Yeah. However, she was supposed to laugh and stay in her role. When you start producing
What
memes,
role?
Nah.
She
no,
didn't
that
make
one.
the memes. Nah.
She was
If
laughing
memes are
along with
funny-
everybody. She was laughing along with everybody.
Nah.
But I
It's
don't
like
use
it's
that.
like the whole room is laughing, and then as soon as she opened her mouth to give a little giggle, everyone just goes silent and it turns.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I know
That's
you
right.
ain't laughing.
That's that's effectively what happened. I'm like, that's a bit unfair, man. She's been depressed.
Nah.
Let her have a little giggle. Just let her have a little giggle.
No.
No, giggle with your white friends in the house. Don't.
Everyone has to get roasted, and she just did not get out of the roast zone. You know, when you're with your boys, or when you're with your friends or whatever, there's a roast zone, right? Everyone is
Yeah.
getting roasted. If you say something and it's out of line, you know for a fact you're gonna get it. So you know there's always someone who's always quiet, right?
Alright.
Exactly.
And until you leave the roast zone, and the zone can last for a day, 2 days, maybe a week, she just was not out of the roast zone yet. So she should have stayed
So
quiet.
bad. Man, that's probably the first time she's laughed in a long time, man. You know she's been in those depressive states. And then you shut her down for it. Ah, poor little Debbie.
I'm telling you, yo. She got murdered.
She did. She really did. Absolutely decimated.
I have no sympathy though. I'm sorry. I know you guys bullying, sorry, but I have none. If you're gonna laugh at memes and stuff, be prepared for all consequences.
She should have laughed and kept it off of her Instagram.
But that shit
or
came
whatever.
back tenfold. Tenfold.
Well, karma hits you in freeze.
Hey, you know what? Next time you laugh at a joke, it's coming for you.
No. I can laugh, but I would not link it on my Twitter. I would laugh in the quiet.
She didn't, but this is the thing. She didn't link it. She said all of these 21 Savage memes are funny. That was
But you
the
smoke
extent
crack.
to which.
But you smoke crack. But you, that's it. That's it. but you smoke crack.
Yo.
All she had to do was look at the friend and boy. Are you seeing this yet? Giggle. That is it. That was it. Stay in your lane.
So she can't laugh with her friends like online. She can't laugh.
No, not about this. Not about this.
She's a
About
public,
maybe
she's a
about
public
Nelson.
figure with all
Yeah.
her friends. She's a public figure with all her friends. So,
You
you
know
know,
what I mean?
you have roast sessions with your friends. I just
Okay,
have, she's not out of the
the
zone.
with her friend. The
Yo.
internet was her friend, and they set her straight. They set her straight.
All right then. All right, but
Ladies,
let's
don't stop
let's
me.
get back. Let's get back to it.
Go
So
on. Go on.
Chris Brown, Offset. Chris Brown was also laughing at these memes. Let's just bring out the fact that no one went after him apart from Offset, who said that shit isn't funny.
Go on,
Alright,
Offset.
so Chris Brown, Offset, Chris Brown laughing at the memes. Offset went at Chris Brown for laughing at these 21 Savage memes. Chris Brown calls out Offset, call him a bitch in a very long DM. Offset says, "Where you at?" Chris Brown says, "You know where I'm at. I'll be there at 4." Offset calls him the was it the ops or the police?
Police.
What do you call it? The police?
Yeah.
And then dragged it on forever and ever. I'm calling Offset a bitch in this situation. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
if you really wanna defend this guy, show up. Like show up and show well.
Yo, Offset was not ready for this smoke. Chris Brown wants all the smoke. He fucking backflips throughout March Madness for like a whole 2 hours during his show.
Chris Brown
he
is
has
a
the
dangerous.
stamina.
Chris Brown looks like the type of guy that will beat up and smile at the same time.
Exactly. Chris Brown will moonwalk all up and down that lean drinking nigga's ass, yo.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He'll have Offset
You know what?
fucking drifting with the one cuff. Nah, I have Chris Brown in that fight, 100%. Chris
For
Brown is
real.
taking that.
So wait. Why is Offset selling for nigga? And nigga boy, I'm gonna be right here at this time, and then this didn't show up. Cause I'm thinking, why call? Why call if you're not gonna answer? Why call?
Bitch,
But
nigga.
he's always been like that. I mean, remember when the Migos sent like their bodyguards after who was it? Was it Smoke? What was it? What's his Space Ghost or Smoke Purple, whatever the fuck his name is. That little dude, like they didn't even get out the car. They just sat in the car recording while their guards just went after him. It's like they never want to fight on their ones. They never they're
One
all
of them
just.
niggas.
Wait, who
They're
was
just them type of
in
guys.
prison? Who was in prison? Offset or Takeoff?
You're asking me on history. I don't bother researching.
Because I feel like it was Offset. And I mean, if Offset was in prison and he survived that bitch, maybe, you know, I'll give him like a lucky punch. We'll have like a lucky punch.
It was Offset. He's on felony gun charges as well. But this was recent, so it's like he probably got put in a soft jail because he's a celeb, isn't it?
No, that was before. I think that was before he became a celeb.
Was it?
I think so, yeah.
Ah,
Like
okay.
before they actually like blew up. I think they were known, at least in Atlanta. I think he was in like Migos came out, like Migos broke big, and then there was news about one of their members being in prison. Kind of like the whole City Girls thing. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this.
No, I'll take your word for it. Either way, if you call someone out, you best be prepared to throw hands.
100%.
Agreed.
100%. Offset was completely off during dog. He said, "Police, this the guy. Police, help!" Fuck Offset, man. Chris Brown
For
will
real.
win that fight. Chris Brown will beat him.
I will
Chris
pay
Brown
to
will
watch
beat
it.
Tiger. Chris Brown will beat fucking
Soulja Boy.
Soulja
Soulja
Boy.
Wait, how did Tiger get involved?
Soldier Man.
Big Soldier.
Young Draco. I don't know how Tiger get involved. I'm just throwing his name out there because I would like to see Tiger fight. He's gonna beat Tory
What is the
Lanez.
beef?
Don't they have like a series of albums together? Why would they fight?
Mr.
It'd just be-
Yo,
Hey, that song's a banger. Don't
yo,
don't
quick
diss the man's comment.
sidebar here.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear that Dax dropped for Tory Lanez?
No.
You mean that reach?
I don't think it was a reach. I think he made some valid points. He was like, you know,
I think the
there's no
title was a
substance.
reach.
I haven't.
Well, yeah,
I haven't
the title
heard
was
it yet.
trash. The title was trash. But he basically said, you're not rapping about anything. Have some substance, and then maybe we'll consider you a legend. Maybe we'll consider you great, right? Which is a fair point, considering Tory's music. However, I don't know if you saw the video that I posted in Skype Homies earlier today or yesterday, Ken. Where,
No, I seen him.
yeah, Tory Lanez pulled up on Dax.
Yeah,
But it looked like Dax was legitimately afraid. I personally feel like Tory Lanez he either had a gun on him or he had, some goons with him, and Dax just wasn't trying to get his
or
shit
both.
kicked in,
Or both.
or both. Because I cannot, for the life of me, see a man drop a diss track and then somebody pull up on him and he doesn't have the smoke. Not with his feet.
Yeah, because you don't pull up on someone just out of random and not be prepared like that. You gotta be prepared on some level, especially out there in the open like that for it to get recorded and shit.
He must have a toolie. He must have a toolie or something. But even then, no fear. No fear. Commit to the cause.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they had stayed with bars. It didn't need to get to that level, but like this just shows that Tory ain't playing.
Yeah. Say sorry.
Oh.
Say sorry. He's thunder. He told this nigga, no, I don't want to hear I got you. Say sorry. Yo.
I gotta watch that shit now.
Yeah, it was funny. It was definitely funny. Yeah, Tory ain't one to be messed with.
Quick question then, Nico.
Yeah.
Since you got Chrissy or Meek Mills?
Don't.
Chris.
Meek, come on. Meek.
You got Meek?
Meek,
really?
100%.
I got Chris.
Nah.
Meek let himself go a bit too much, man. He's got a bit of the belly. I don't think he can do it. I think he'll tire himself out after 2 swings. Like,
no, Chris Brown being rich since he's like 5 years old.
Yeah, right? But he'll be flipping upside down, dodging like the Matrix.
Dog, Meek is a real street dude.
I don't doubt that, but I feel like Meek has gotten to the point where he'll just pull out a gun.
Nah, Meek will have his ghetto powers resurrect within him like Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet and smack the shit out of fucking Chris Brown. I don't give no quarter to Chris Brown at all against Meek Mill. Nah.
I feel like we gotta disagree on this one, man.
I think Chris will win this one though.
I feel like Chris Brown will just run up a wall and jump off it and just fucking. That dude is too athletic, man. I don't know.
I don't see. All right then. That puts that. So I agree with. That puts that to bed.
And that and let's. Alright, I'm just saying. I think I got Chris, but we gotta get the Chris Brown Offset thing first, so I can see Offset get knocked the fuck out.
True.
Then we can go back to it.
I still want some celebrity deathmatch type thing.
That needs to come.
Definitely.
I would really love to see, some actual like boxing matches. I mean, fucking YouTubers did it. I want to see some hip hop people do it.
Pusha versus Drake. Please, somebody give me this god.
Nah, that's a wash.
No, I just want to see it though. I want to see it.
No, because it's like he made it mad personal. I feel like if Drake try and make one more step, there's gonna be a bullet somewhere, and he's not gonna like it.
Well, the next step is gunplay. Push said he's ready, but within like a fist fight, Drake is beating Push.
Yeah, I feel like, but
really,
no. Yeah, I feel like Push is the type of guy that will make sure he's always kind of on top, and if he knows he's gonna lose a fight, then he's just gonna pull out. And I feel like he knows he's gonna lose a fight versus.
Push is a smart dude. He's a smart dude, but he's not a strong dude.
Yeah, he didn't get away by beating everyone. Yeah. So, but I would like to see a celebrity deathmatch like style thing. Celebrity deathmatch is actually coming back. Ice Cube is petitioning to get MTV to bring that shit back.
Oh, would?
Yeah. So,
nice.
So support to him to get that shit back, because that was cool back in the day.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, and that actually nicely brings me into the next topic in terms of supporting niggas. Should we just be supporting niggas with blind faith? I have to bring in a bit more backstory to this one.
Young Draco.
We recently had two episodes. Young Draco coming out with all the businesses in the world, trying to sell you all the little things in the world is his console, his soldier watch, his apparel, all of that other shit. And we also have Ja Rule come out with the Fire Festival documentary on both sides, cussing man out, exposing him for, for the fraud that he was trying to be. And I brought this topic up on our list because I saw in the comments of a certain video that was talking about this, the Ja Rule situation in particular, cussing out the hosts for saying that they're never gonna support anything else that Ja Rule does, saying that you're really gonna just dismiss a black man like that. We should be uplifting our black man like this. And in my head, I felt, you know, them tweaks that you just feel when you hear something mad, like just mad dumb. And I was saying, and it's just like,
How stupid can you
just
be?
how can you be that stupid? And I'm coming in this with the opinion straight off, so I will ask you guys what your opinion on this is as well. But A, do you trust Ja Rule with any other endeavor? Because he is coming out with a new endeavor about linking up artists with people that are trying to host events. And B, do you just support a black man just off cuff because he's black?
No, not to both. I don't know the full thing with the Ja Rule stuff, but I don't trust Ja Rule after his election stuff and all that. So that's a no. And two, you shouldn't just blind support anyone, period, without knowing more stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a contradiction there because, like, before I knew any, let's just go the example for when Obama was there. When Obama versus is it McCain? Was it McCain back then? It was McCain. Support Obama before knowing anything.
Yeah.
But then I learned. But I did learn. And I guess that was off the cuff. But I learned more on support Obama. But the idea of wholeheartedly supporting somebody just on the color of their skin? Nah. Because not all niggas have your good best intention at heart. So but that, nah. Nah.
Yeah.
I can't agree with that. Nah.
Yeah, I feel it's like in a situation that never happens, but sometimes people throw that at you situation where two people of equal merit, one is black and one is white. There might be scenarios where I support the black man first because, you know, black people might not get the opportunities the same way.
In that scenario, I'm always going black.
Yeah.
If everything is equal,
Agreed.
I'm always going black. But with this
We're talking about-
Fire Festival, I mean, okay, real talk, this was a white people festival. Okay, we know this.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
was not for black people. I mean, black people were there, sure, whatever. But it was,
if you were an influencer or if you were one of the
Yeah.
people that were serving the influencers, maybe you were black.
right.
That's what it was.
Now they completely raped the Bahamas. Let's get that out there, because you're Caribbean.
For
Right? They completely
destroyed
raped the Bahamas. They put this woman in so much fucking debt when they were trying to host this shit, right? So shout out
Yep.
to her. I hope she gets her shit done. I think there's like a change.org thing. I'll find it. We'll get the link. We'll put it in the comments. There's like a change.org GoFundMe to help her get back on her feet and pay off her loan.
Yeah.
Now, should we be supporting people with blind faith because they're black, because they look like us, because they're skin folk? Someone said to me some years ago, not all skin folk are kin folk, right? So you should always investigate and see what is actually the offering for anyone, not whether they're black or white or whatever, for anyone, before you throw your support behind it. Because, like with this Soldier Boy thing, for example, he's busy drop shipping, right? He's basically drop shipping.
Exactly.
And lied about literally everything else. He was like, okay, well, I have this game, and it has a whole bunch of video games on it. It's called the Soldier Game or the Soldier Game Console or whatever it was called, and it was literally like a knockoff PS4 with a hard drive in it that had unlicensed emulated games. They all ran off of an emulator.
Before
And-
that, it would have been called the Poly Station.
Right. You know, I mean, people threw support behind him because, again, he is Soldier Boy. He is a young black entrepreneur. People love him. You know, people think he's great or whatever for his music and what he has done, because he has done a lot for the music industry. Whether you want to give that to him or not, but people support him, and they support him basically because he is who he is, which is one thing. But when people who actually play video games looked at it, like no one, you didn't even have to review it. You didn't even have to get an actual copy of the fucking system. you could see clearly on the website that it was not his. He didn't even put his own logo on it or nothing. He took all the same pictures from what was it, Alibaba or some shit,
You
right?
could have bought them for less on Alibaba.
You could have gotten them cheaper, right? He took all the pictures and he just posted his shit up. He posted them on his shit, and he was like, "Oh, I sold, 200 or I sold 2 million or some shit, some bullshit number." He said he sold like 5 of them, in total, and those 5 are people who bought it to tear it down and quote unquote review it. But everyone knows it was like a bullshit review because everyone knew it was trash, right? So we definitely should not be supporting niggas with blind faith, or anyone for that matter with blind faith. Regards to the Fiery Festival, though, I mean, it's funny. it was to me it was funny because you paid all this money to go to an
15
island,
grand.
right? You paid 15 grand
Wait.
US dollars, right, to go to a music festival in another country hosted by a company that you have not heard of yet, and it was the first iteration of that music festival. You deserve to get your money taken for being
And you're
stupid.
going off it based
Wait.
off of Ja Rule?
Yeah.
Wait.
Where's
Is this
Ja?
the same wait. Is this the same festival that they made a comment about the biggest festival that never happened?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the
Oh
one.
my
Fire
god.
Festival.
Oh my.
You have to
God.
understand the original intention is what this whole app thing is about, because this is the bit that they were discussing where the comment came from. It's because Ja Rule is trying to create this app. I think it's called Icon or some shit, where he's basically saying, and I will admit, off the face of it, it's a good idea. It's just I don't trust Ja Rule. He is trying to take out the middleman when it comes to hiring artists for your event, so you don't have to go through this manager and you have to pay him a cut. You just go to an app and say, I have this event that has this many people. Can I get maybe a Childish Gambino or Chris Brown or something or ever to come to this event? They show you their calendar, and then you pay them the money, and then they show up, and that's it. You don't have to pay any middle management. That was the whole point of his app in the first place. I don't trust Ja Rule to come up successfully with that idea whatsoever. I just don't.
The thing is, it's not Ja Rule that I don't trust. It was the people behind him, because I forgot the white boy's name, right? But there's a white guy behind all of this, right? And that white person is like a career scammer, a career white collar criminal. Everything he has done between being born and today has basically been a scam, right?
He had another venture before that
Yeah.
where it was a scam.
He's had several of them.
It's-
Like a documented history of him doing that. So this is more a poor choice of character, a bad judgment of character by Ja Rule. But this guy makes a career out of talking a big game and making it seem like everything is, all hunky-dory or whatever. So a little bit of the blame I would take off of Ja Rule, and I would put a lot more on that white guy.
Trust me, I blame him, the white guy, for everything. I blame him for just about everything. But I still don't trust Ja Rule because I believe he just makes poor choices, and I can't trust a guy that makes poor choices with investment on any level.
Yeah.
Because you invest in someone to make the right choices, not the bad ones, and he just made a lot of bad ones.
Yeah,
That's why I
he's
don't
made
trust him.
terrible choices. Terrible choices.
Wow, I just didn't know it was the same festival. I watched this documentary on.
You watch it on Netflix?
I watched it on Netflix.
There were two documentaries that came out
One
at the
on
same
Hulu,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it on Netflix. I watched how many people just got who just got robbed.
Oh,
Just
would you suck dick for fresh water?
For
It
real.
was that bad. It was that bad. They got
It was
robbed. And the
terrible.
guy got arrested. I think the guy got arrested in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But trust me, he'll probably be out with another scam
Probably,
any other day.
probably, because he's white. But homeboy, the thing is, right? There's some good that came out of this, because
Go on.
homeboy who said he was, prepared to suck some dick for some fresh water. I think he's getting his own show or something.
See, the trooper always comes through. The trooper always comes through.
Hey, he's gay, alright? So that's fine, alright?
Yeah.
I mean, if someone told me, hey, you had to eat a box to get, whatever.
And
Hey,
it was some dirty woman.
if it was a dirty woman, that's different. But if I see her and she's like, alright, because apparently he knew who he was. He knew whose dick he was about to suck. So if I see her, she's alright, hey, You know, I take one for 18 because that's my orientation. I don't mind. I don't mind that.
Just make sure we get the water first.
She pull up. She gonna pull a power mover and squirt on me and say, "There's your water, bitch."
Oh shit! All right, man. Let's move into our next topic. So this one's gonna be a bit of a media for you guys. Need to follow us a Twitter video. We're gonna link it in the description. But it's essentially a man. Well, let's call it as a boy knocking out his stepdaddy, according to the video description anyway, for saying the word nigger, or more or less calling him out for hanging out with niggers.
These are the kind of allies that we need. He knocked
The-
his stepdad square the fuck out.
I had a full hearty laugh when I saw this.
I got my 7 chuckles. I had my full 7 chuckles. Just
It was quite the enjoyable watch, and just to see him give his stepdad the rope dope before he went in, because you saw the guy try to recover and get back, it wasn't happening,
Yep.
and he just went down, and the guy behind him, I'm gonna assume is maybe the stepdad or an uncle or something. He wasn't putting any effort into stopping the man because he knew the stepdad said what he shouldn't have.
He was
And he
just gonna
deserved
let
that
gravity
knockout.
do the work.
Yeah,
That was great.
for real.
Oh man, I would give that guy a plate of the cookout. I'd let him choose a song. Give put on Freebird or whatever. I'd let him choose a song for the cookout.
That's-
No problem.
That's a friend for life. That's a
Yeah.
friend for life.
That's my
Choose
nigga.
he should have said. He should have said.
You still don't get to say the word though. Let's be. Let's,
Yeah,
let's,
no,
let's-
no.
You don't get to say the word, but thank you for defending it,
Yeah.
young man.
No, wait, pause. Are we gonna hate him then? When he spoke to his to the boy, don't call my friend a nigga. Are we gonna hate
That-
him for his
I'm-
knowledge?
Nah, I allow that one. I allow that one. But don't
you
say
get
that shit
one
again.
for one. Don't
Yeah.
say that shit again. Yeah, you get one for one.
What for
Yeah.
what
I understand he was in a moment of rage, just like Liam Neeson. He just had to come out with something. I'll take it. But no more.
Archery punches, but yeah. The first one was a mistake. Nothing after that.
Yeah, don't say that shit again, please, sir. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I do encourage everyone listening, watch that video if you want to bring a smile to your face.
Get your chuckles in. Get your chuckles in.
As a sidebar, though, what do you guys think of removing the word nigger from your vocabulary?
I'm not gonna do it.
Why is that?
It's not happening. People need to remember. Tell you right now, these white people. I'm sorry, white listeners. White people can't be trusted.
Wait.
'Cause-
We just lost a whole demographic. We just lost the whole demographic.
Fuck them.
I'm just there, and I'm saying I have, and I'm sounding like I'm sounding like white people when I say this. I have a lot of white friends.
No, you had this. You had. Correction.
And I know, but the problem is that for the longest time, white people have been trying to say it, even when we were under the cosh, we were the ones being enslaved, even under the times of segregation, all the way up to now. White people have just been trying to say it. So us taking it out of our vocabulary is not going to stop them. So when this new generation comes up, when they get born, and if they get born into environments where it doesn't get said, they need to be reminded of the history that has come before them. And they're not gonna. No one is always gonna teach them history lessons. Guaranteed that in Middle America, elementary school and high school, they're not gonna get taught about slavery and what
Somewhere
their
in
ancestors.
Texas.
So there needs to be this reminder, and when they hear a black man say it, and when they get told that they're not allowed to say it, then they can find out exactly why exactly that is. So I'm going to keep saying it because people need to be reminded of exactly the travesty that's happened. Because because white people can't be trusted to keep that word out of their mouth. And if we all of a sudden stop saying it, and then they're gonna feel like they're one day gonna feel like, hey, they're not saying it, maybe we can get away with saying it now. That's just how it's gonna be.
I could see that point. I could see that point.
Yeah.
I just supporting your point, Ken. I did remember reading somewhere. I gotta find it. Somewhere in Texas, in some of the schools, they would stop teaching slavery. They stopped teaching it, take it out of the whole syllabus.
People don't like teaching that their ancestors were cunts. That's
they feel threatened and they feel uncomfortable. Anything that makes white people feel uncomfortable, they try to get rid of it as quickly as possible. You know.
They won't say it. They won't say it at all.
Honestly, since reading an article on DJ Booth about it, I think it was DJ Booth. No, it was a video that the company man, shout out the company man.
Yeah.
He posted a video talking about using the N-word, and it actually got me thinking. I don't know if I'm going to decide to not use it at all anymore, or try my best not to use it at all because I've been using it since I was a kid, or if I will continue to use it in the capacity that I do. I'm kind of torn between two worlds, sort of the world that you were describing there, Ken, with the remembrance side of things, and also the other side of things being, well, there really is no other side for me. It just is like, I prefer, maybe some part of me prefers to not use it because I do fall back on that word a lot. It was like when you learn to curse for the first time, everything was fucking ass and cunt and whatnot.
Yeah.
I use the word nigger quite liberally. I sprinkle that shit on like salt in a pot, So. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe one of these days I'll stop using it, and maybe Oprah will be happy. But
yeah, and I've seen that Coffee Man video, and trust, I'm not. I treat that word, at least in my vocabulary, in the same level as a curse word. So I'm not out there just slinging it out whenever I feel like it in front of like my workmates or in the church or stuff like that. That gets put on the same level, not in terms of the history behind it, but in terms of when I use it as cunt and fucking whatever. I use it only in front of friends. I don't even use it in front of all my friends. It's specific friends at specific times, and like it's not part of my natural vocabulary, but when I feel the need that word needs to be heard, then I'll say it. I'm not attaching it to every sentence that I have.
I might switch to that, like not using it in certain company, but I am guilty, and I probably will continue to do this. Using it to make people feel uncomfortable, because I have been in rooms of just full caucasity, right? But 99.999% white people, and I have used it solely to make people feel uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie.
When the opportunity arrives, it has to be done.
Just like my own little retribution. I was in a meeting a couple weeks ago, and it was just all white people and Syrians and Indians and whatnot, and I said, "Oh man, niggas are gonna love this," and they did not know what to say. It was fantastic because I could see them being uncomfortable. It was shit to do, but it felt so fucking good.
Oh, and sidebar, brown people, and when I say brown people, I don't mean black people. I mean if you're from Middle East all the way to South India, you do not have the right to say it.
Mexicans and Latinos.
Because Mexicans and Latinos, I understand people try to give Big Pun a pass, and I know he's a legend in the game, and people have, for some reason, decided to give Tekashi 6ix9ine a pass for whatever reason, because he's associated by some kind of way to hip hop.
Did Fat Joe say it?
Fat Joe also said it. Yeah, Fat Joe said it, but he cut down on it. He cut down on it. Because he's not as good of a spitter as Big Pun, so he can't get away.
Yeah, he said it when he was still young in the game. He thought he could have got it, but he doesn't use it now.
Yeah, and I see that little dicky kid trying to get away with saying it with that freaky fat.
Yeah, yo, fuck that shit, dude.
People, this is what I'm saying about people trying to
test the water. They're
trying to. I'm saying this right here and now. If you say it in front of me, you're gonna get clapped for it. Please don't say it in front of me. Do not feel like you're comfortable saying it in front of me. I am not trying to make you feel comfortable saying it in front of me. Do not say it. Full stop. I don't care if you're trying to explain a scenario or a funny joke, or you're remembering a situation, or you read it in a book. Don't.
Or singing a song.
Yes.
Yeah,
you just black that shit out.
Yeah. Can't say niggas in pirates.
There better be a moment of silence when that word comes up in a song.
If I have the ability to blank out the F word, the gay slur, whenever I'm talking about shit, you have the ability to blank out the N word. That's exactly what you should say, N word. And only when you describe shit. I don't even feel comfortable.
Matter of fact, don't use the N word. Yeah, don't use the N word because now I'm saying it.
Just say That's what whenever you.
I don't even want that. It just better be a moment of silence for all the dead niggas during slavery. Let it be a moment of silence during that part of the song for me. I don't wanna not a fucking thing. I don't even want you to breathe.
Because I know you people be thinking it, and I can't delve into your mind. It ain't that time. This ain't Matrix. I ain't sticking some shit in the back of your head and figuring some shit out. I know it's in your mind. Just don't let it come out your mouth. Otherwise, I'll slap that mouth off.
Oh, it's real. It's fucking real, yo. I like this. I can't. If you go clubbing, I see some next guy next to you. I'm just gonna watch him get clapped.
Wait, that never happened to you? You're in the club around some white people, and a soul comes out and they say nigga?
No,
it's happened before. They got clapped before. Trust.
Yo, there was a mad fight.
Where?
Yeah, this is the thing. They think Kanye and Jay-Z just put that shit out because they wanted to. They were testing people. They were like, this is your test. You have until 3:37 to finish this test, and the clock strikes now. Any white man that come out with that word, clap the fuck up. Doesn't matter how drunk you are. Doesn't matter. Oh, but they're saying it in the song. No, stop it.
As at a Danny Brown performance some years ago, some white people who were in the crowd and they said the word nigga. Yo, the amount of touch they get, the entire crowd fucked them up. It was magnificent.
And you talking about that shit remind me of Travis Scott. You're not a herald for black people. Stop trying to say that white people saying it is a moment. You need to give that shit up.
Yeah.
Do not let them say it. For the love of Christ, I'm already pissed off at the fact that you're performing at the bloody
NFL
Super Bowl. I'm pissed off at Big Boy as
well. They could have left that shit alone, man. They sang like what, a verse?
They said 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Not even all of sicko mode went through.
Exactly.
That's what they're trying to. They did not have to do that. We could have just let Maroon 5 be horrible on their own.
Exactly.
They didn't need any of that.
It was dead. I heard it was dead.
It was dead on dead.
Yeah.
They even had they tried to do this stupid shit with the SpongeBob. They tried to get like the memes in there. Oh, come on, man.
If they had did the SpongeBob thing, just that would have been better, because Maroon 5 was just that trash.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. I caught the performance on YouTube. Oh man, it's terrible.
It was the likes to dislikes on that shit is crazy.
Is it as bad as Gillette?
Not as bad as Gillette.
I'm just checking. Just checking.
Nah, not as bad as Gillette. I think NFL might have paid for a few likes, but.
Because I heard Gillette was the second. Well, I heard Gillette was the second most disliked thing on YouTube, other than the replay button on YouTube. That's what I was told.
That was for that year, though. It's still like Baby is still. I think the Baby video is still number 2.
For real?
But right now, the most disliked video on YouTube is the year review, 2018 in review.
Yeah.
And justifiably so, because that shit was trash.
Yeah, it's really bad.
They should have had us on there.
One day.
Oh, we're blowing off it. When we finish blow up.
Alright. I think that's it. I think that is it. We'll take it off on that note. Life lessons for all you lot. Don't say the word.
Look at the pod, man. Look at us podding on a Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the Lord's Day. Anyway, thank you. You've been listening to Jerry Dysfunctional. Be sure to hit us up on all the socials. We're up on Instagram, instagram.com/GenDPodcast, or look for us, Gen D Podcast. Twitter, Gen D Pod. You can catch us on all of those streaming services, Spotify included. Make sure you give us a like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube as well. I've been your host, Ken. Been with my compatriots, Nigo and Mariba. It's been good, people.
Like and subscribe!
You're gonna say that every time, aren't you?
Every single time.
Fuck it.
Every single time.